So for people who are on the fence about, let's say, a movement program, I mean, because if you talk to somebody, let's say an older person, they're going to say, well, this stuff's only been around. I've only heard about it the last couple of years. I haven't heard about, where were you 10 years ago and why are you going to solve my problems now? So what do you say to that person?
Yeah, I mean, if they told me or if they asked where I was 10 years ago, I would say I was a sophomore in high school. But it really comes down to just advancing the ideas of exercise because we know that loading the body with external weight is a net positive. We know that having strong muscles and coordination in our joints is going to keep us healthier. But where we're at now is that we can build strength without changing how we're naturally supposed to walk and run and jump and swing and strike and throw. Which that's kind of the biggest mistake or where the exercise community went wrong in like the 60s is all this resistance training was based off of bodybuilding, how we can isolate specific muscles, make them grow most efficiently so we can win like an aesthetics competition. And I'm not saying you won't get jacked still. I'm not saying you won't still have big muscles and be able to, I don't know, flex on people, but we can now, because we can look at how people are walking and running in slow motion, we can figure out the exact movement patterns that humans are designed to use
Mhm.
and then load those positions and build strength in the movement patterns that we're designed for. And you've gone through the body weight side of things where we're changing how you're moving just by repping it out. But now it's a lot more efficient because if you are loading those positions, it's a much higher stimulus or a much higher intensity stimulus for your body. So your nervous system will actually adapt quicker. Um, so yeah, it's I guess to answer the question, if you're on the fence about it, it's all the same principles that you've heard about your whole life. Like, yes, we need to build muscle and strength, but we don't want to build muscle and strength just in the lifting pattern. Because if we think about it, you lift things and pick things up like 1% of the time, and you move 99% of the time. And those are separate patterns. And I think everyone would agree with that. You you use your body differently to pick something up than you do to walk, but we weren't understanding that only training in the lifting pattern will start to cause that lifting pattern to leak over into your walking and your running. So now you're trying to walk and run, you're trying to move in the lifting pattern, and that's just not how the body's designed, and that's where we start to run into the joint issues, and even like soft tissue, hamstring, and hip flexor strains, all these problems that are showing up in people who do work out.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the people who are sedentary, they can't really blame anything for what they're feeling. Like, yeah, if you're not active, then it's kind of like just start moving more, and then you'll probably feel better. But there are people who are walking 10, 15, 20,000 steps a day. There are people who get in the gym and move weight around every day or 4 times a week or 5 times a week, and they're still running into problems because they're not using their body the way it's designed. And like we don't use the word like moving wrong, but it's
Mhm.
just moving inefficiently. And inefficiency is what breeds a lack of function.